Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The following podcast is a GreenFresh media production.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Ray. I'm your host, Allana, Lan, and I'm currently recording on my bed, as always, channeling my inner Emma Chamberlain. I have my fireside replica by the fireplace candle currently lighting, flame, burning. Been obsessed with it ever since I received it a few days ago. Also obsessed with the perfume. It's a whole vibe. And I'm also drinking, I got the new Starbucks drink. It's the toasted vanilla oat shaken espresso. I got it with 1 pump of the syrup in a tall. And we'll do a little taste test rating, a little ASMR, the ice. It tastes like another drink from Starbucks. I can't really put my finger on it right now. Maybe it's just the normal vanilla that it tastes the same as. Would I get it again? No. Was it worth the experience? Sure. I always like to feel included with all the new Starbucks drinks, even though I'm very much not a Starbucks girly anymore. I'm very much a local coffee shop girly gal, babe. So I would give it like a 5 out of 10 rating. It was good, but it's not great, you know? But today's episode, we're going to be discussing how I practice a balanced lifestyle, how I find balance while still doing a million one things, and how I prioritize my self-care routine and ensure that it works. So today's episode, it was requested after I posted a reel of it was point of view, we're going into the office. It's Monday and we're going to the office or something. And a lot of the comments had to do with how do I balance everything. They wanted to learn how I balanced. And so I thought I'd just do a podcast episode because I'm sure the few people that did comment that were not the only ones that were curious of that. And so that's why I thought it would be a really good episode. And I was looking for a new subject to talk about for this week. Originally, I was going to do manifestation. I think I'm going to do that next week. But I felt like this was more important right now. And I really wanted to plan out the manifestation episode. Whereas this one, I've spoken about it so much that it comes really naturally to me. And why not share it on the podcast? So before we get into discussing how I achieve a work-life balance and practice it in my day-to-day life, let's do our weekly segments. So my weekly intentions. My weekly intention is to get enough sleep. I really want to focus on my night routine. I feel like I neglect my night routine a lot, so I really want to lean into my night routine. Last night I went to bed at 10:30. I did have an early rise, but I went to bed at 10:30 and I was really proud of that. So I want to continue going to bed before 11 whenever I can, as often as I can. So that is my weekly intention, to focus on my night routine. And then my tip of the week is to really discipline yourself when you have a goal and to kind of baby yourself in a way. like break it down into little steps. Speak to yourself how like maybe your parents spoke to you when it was like when you had to do a chore or something. Like really put on your adult cap and be disciplined, because not everything comes super easily. You're not always going to be super motivated, and this can be for any goal in life. Really talk to yourself like you're walking someone else through whatever they need to get done or how they should achieve their goal. And I think it will really help you in disciplining yourself and motivating yourself and holding yourself accountable. Now, on to my current obsessions. I think you already know based on what I said at the beginning of this episode, but it's the replica by the fireplace smell. So in both the perfume and the candle, I'm obsessed. I was looking for a new perfume. I use the YSL Libre perfume, which I love, but it is almost out. So I was looking for a new one because I wasn't sure if I wanted to get that one again. I tried Gucci Bloom from my friend Shayna, and I really liked that one, but I got sent the by the fireplace one, and I'm really obsessed with it. I was eyeing it for a really long time, so I'm so thankful that I got sent that, and I'm really obsessed with it. I'm also really obsessed with fitness studios right now and taking full advantage of the fitness studio and bringing all my shower stuff and my makeup and everything to shower and change at the studio. So I love going to Sweat and Tonic and using their shower facilities, and same with at Jaybird. I did the same. It just like it feels so nice to just like shower and then leave, opposed to put your clothes on after like a sweaty workout and put your winter jacket on. If anyone knows how to make a jacket not smell from like putting it on over your sweaty clothes, maybe I need to put it outside and air it out. I'm not really sure. My Super Puff is smelling a little funky to me after putting it on after my sweaty workout last night. So let me know. But really enjoying like doing a little self-care moment after I work out and like taking my time. Really liking that. And I'm back into my morning workouts. It feels really good. And I'm really just like into the group fitness environment. I'm really into hot Pilates right now. I'm having a lot of fun with my workouts and I'm feeling really challenged. However, my hair washing schedule is being impacted because I get so sweaty from some of these workouts, and like I can't help it, and I just don't know what to do. But I can't wash my hair all the time because then I'm gonna like ruin my hair washing routine. So I need to sort that out. But I did get this bedhead gel stick situation, and I use that to slick my hair back for spin this morning, and I'm going to use that for my slick back ponies and buns, and it was just A1. So highly recommend. It's the bedhead, I think it's TG gel stick. Super awesome. Okay, let's get into the bulk of this episode. And I'm really excited to discuss this all. Okay. Work-life balance. So I think it's really important that before you try to achieve this thing called work-life balance, that you figure out what your priorities are. What are the things that help fuel up your cup and really energize you and make you feel your best mentally, physically, and spiritually? So for me, for example, this may be totally different for you. It could be exactly the same, maybe sort of the same. But for me, what makes me feel really good is taking time in the morning to do my skincare routine, do my makeup, journal, have a slow start, not feel super rushed, move in some sort of way, whether it be a walk or a workout, and have a really nice, good breakfast and a really nice latte or espresso-based beverage. So those are like the things that help fill up my cup. And like just to be as unplugged as possible, I really like to listen to a podcast, so I'm not tempted to be on my phone scrolling. But these are the things that really fill my cup up in the morning and allow me to go into my day, whether it be on a weekend, a work day during the week, or whether it be when I was in school. It allowed me to be able to go in with a clear headspace and be able to really be present and focused on whatever the day threw at me by doing these things in the morning. The same thing can be said for what you do at night. I really like to not work if I can after a certain time. So usually after dinner, I really like to not work. Sometimes I do, but I really try not to. I really try to unplug and relax. So whether that means taking the time to cook a recipe I've really been wanting to, maybe it's ordering in food, or maybe it's going out for dinner with a friend or on a date. I really enjoy doing that, and then unwinding in front of the TV. I really love to watch YouTube or Netflix or Crave, which is like the Canadian version of Hulu. Or I like to read my book. I got back into reading with vacation and then fell back out of it again. I'm currently reading Daisy Jones and the Six, but just like really figuring out what helps re-energize me and makes me feel good, and making sure to incorporate it more often than not in my day-to-day routine. Now, I love doing all these things, but sometimes you have other priorities in that day, or things that are more time sensitive and that you need to focus on. So some days I may not get to do everything, but that is okay. And I think that's the important part of finding this work-life balance. You need to be agile, and it's really important not to let yourself stress over if you're not able to do each and every part of your morning routine or night routine or your self-care ritual. As long as you get to do one, that should like help energize you. But so finding out what your priorities are is the first step, and then setting boundaries. So what are your boundaries? Are you going to schedule a meeting during the time where you need to do these things? I would recommend against not doing that. So I would recommend like not scheduling a call or a meeting or something during your off hours, or the hours where you are focusing on your self-care rituals. I think it's really important to set those boundaries. For example, a boundary for me is that after dinner, I don't do any work, and I implemented this even in university. I really stopped studying or doing schoolwork after dinner, and dinner was usually around like between 6 to 8. So I wouldn't work past 8. Latest, if I had to, I wouldn't work past 9. I never pulled an all-nighter in high school. I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day, or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Allana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Allana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Allana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Allana for 15% off today. I stayed up a bit later, but it was very rare. And those are the boundaries I set for myself. I like to be able to get into bed fairly early and have that option. So knowing that when making plans, and knowing if I want to maybe stay out later one night, then I know I can do that. But for the most part, I know I prefer to go in to bed earlier and wind down sooner. So to recap so far of what we have discussed, we want to figure out what our non-negotiables are. We want to set our boundaries. And now we're going to figure out how to schedule all of this in. So sometimes that means that we have to get up earlier. If you start work at 8 and your non-negotiables are that you need to work out in the morning, you need to do a proper skincare routine, and you like to do your makeup, then you're going to have to wake up earlier so that you can fit that in. And maybe that workout isn't like that super long workout that you normally do. It's not an hour. Maybe it's only 20 minutes. But you know that that's going to energize you. Maybe you split up your workout. Maybe you're going to do 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night. Or maybe you're going to do a 20-minute walk in the morning and you're going to do strength training or Pilates at night for 20 minutes or something like that. I know I used to split it up and I would do a walk in the morning and then at night I would do like my strength training in the gym and like my more like full on like hardcore workout. So it's all about figuring out what works best for you and your schedule. It's not always going to be the same for everyone. Some people may have similar things, but it's kind of just figuring out what works for you and your schedule and what really energizes you. If you find doing a really intense workout in the morning is leaving you feeling drained by lunchtime, then maybe that isn't for you. Maybe a nighttime workout is better for you. But it's all about this trial and error. And maybe one week you're going to try one sort of routine. Maybe the next week you're going to try out something out. But just give yourself grace and be very flexible in figuring out what works best for you. I've been having a morning routine and a night routine for so many years, for as long as I can really remember. So try not to compare yourself to others. Just like really focus on what activities make you feel your best and learn how to fit that in. Discover how to fit that into your day-to-day schedule. In setting boundaries, it's really important to know your limits. It's important to have a balanced life in terms of seeing friends, going on dates, seeing your boyfriend or significant other, girlfriend, whomever, seeing family, leaving time for yourself. I think me time is really important. Time for work, time for school. It's really important to figure out where to fit those things in. And some weeks I'm super social. Some weeks I'm less social. Some weeks I only am social on the weekends and I leave the weekdays to focus on work and myself. It's all about figuring out what balance works best for you. And I think it's really important to bring to your awareness that balance is different for everyone. And I feel like I've said this like multiple times in this episode, but balance is going to look so different for everyone. What might be balanced for me might be something that totally drains you and makes you feel really shitty. And like maybe what is balanced to you could make me feel really shitty. So it's all about trial and error and self-discovery. And you can be inspired by seeing that girl TikToks or morning routines, night routines, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever it may be. But I think the best way to figure out how balance looks for you is to do it through trial and error and to start to pick up on things that really energize you and make you feel your best. And maybe you're going to journal about this. Maybe journaling is something that fills your cup up, but you're going to journal to reflect a little bit and make you more aware of what is making you feel better. But that is really how I implement balance into my life. There have been times where there hasn't been balance in my life and I've burnt out, and that is normal and that is human, and we learn from our mistakes. And now I've become aware of what I feel like. Sorry, guys, my voice kept getting shaky. I don't know why. You know, when you're like, this is a little side tangent. You know, when you're like walking or you're doing an activity and you just like feel your blood sugars drop? That's happened to me twice in the past week. And like I'm eating enough, but I just realized that it's happened on the days where I've had the same thing for lunch. And even though I had like a granola bar situation in the afternoon at work afterwards, because I knew I might feel like my sugars dropped, it still didn't help. So maybe I shouldn't have what I had for lunch. It's very delicious and it fills me very much, but I guess not to the point that I need. But anyways, so now I forget what I was saying before, but we were talking about burnout. Okay, so in order for me to have been able to find what balance is for me, and it's honestly an ever-going journey for me, it's an ongoing discovery. It's always changing because I feel like my life is always changing depending on like what I'm doing. But I've learned how to find balance through learning how to be aware of what I'm feeling and my symptoms of when burnout is approaching, because before I used to just keep pushing it down and down and down, and then eventually I would just have a breakdown and I'd feel super burnt out and I would have no motivation to do anything and I didn't want to do anything. And I'm going to be honest, journaling and therapy, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times and you're probably thinking, Allana, I don't want to hear it again, like journaling and therapy, and like everyone always talks about it, and yeah. But I kid you not, journaling, whether it's just like mind dumps, like just writing whatever I'm feeling or whatever my thoughts are coming forward, or doing prompts, really helped me become a lot more aware of what was going on in my head. And I stopped just pushing everything under the rug until it no longer would go under the rug and it would just come out. So if you feel similarly to that, where you feel like you're doing okay and you kind of just like can like push everything underneath the rug and like ignore it and push it down, and then you have these breakdowns, I think you should start to journal. And it doesn't have to be every morning. It can be once a week. It can be twice a week. Just start journaling. You can even do it on your phone. You can do it in a voice note. Or even if you can, go to therapy. It's really good to talk to someone. There's lots of apps like BetterHelp and Talkspace. And just like the act of writing out your thoughts makes you so much more aware of them and so much more aware of how you're feeling. And then the beauty of being aware is that you can deal with it in the moment, opposed to down the line when you're burning out, where you're overworking yourself, and overworking yourself doesn't necessarily just have to mean overworking yourself in terms of work, school. It can mean overexerting yourself and being too social and giving too much of yourself to others, not giving yourself enough time to recharge. Whether you're extroverted or introverted, we all need moments of alone time that allow us to recharge and do things that make us feel better, like maybe a yoga class or a meditation or getting to bed earlier or having a candlelit bath or journaling or reading or doing some things that just like help zen and chill you out. And again, you can get burnt out from being pulled in too many directions. Maybe you're getting burnt out from school or work and social things, and maybe you have to dial it back a little bit. But I think journaling and therapy have been huge players in helping me find out what balance is to me and what balance looks like in my life. And I think it's going to help you. If you're listening to this, I'm assuming you're listening to this, if you hear my voice right now, I think it's going to help you find balance in your life if you haven't already. And maybe you've started to find that balance. And maybe this will be like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. It helps you find it even more. And it helps you maintain it, opposed to falling in and out of this routine. I think by incorporating practices that help you become aware of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions is a game changer. Also, side note, I'm convinced I have like mild ADHD or ADD because I used to be able to focus. If I got a text, I could just ignore it, but notifications keep coming up on my computer, and maybe I need to start putting my phone on Do Not Disturb while I'm recording because I keep losing my train of thought when I get a message. But anyways, we are going to wrap this episode up because I want to keep it short and sweet and to the point, and I don't want to ramble on any longer. But to summarize for you, if you are only going to listen to this part of the episode, or we're just going to recap because I know I always needed this when I was learning things. So to find a work-life balance or a life just balance in your life, you need to, 1, figure out what your non-negotiables are, whether it be working out, journaling, self-care, such as like skincare, hair care, reading, meditating, etc. The non-negotiables are the things that fill up your cup. And then you need to set your boundaries, your healthy boundaries, knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes, and just like knowing when the boundaries are appropriate, when you need to be agile and flexible. And then number 3 is to be aware of your feelings and emotions and how your body is feeling physically and emotionally. And we can do this through journaling, through going to therapy, through talking it out, and also through meditation. I don't really meditate, but I've been told that this helps you in meditation. So maybe look into that if that's something that intrigues you. There's lots of apps like Calm and Headspace, which you can use, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Calm and Headspace. I could be wrong. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Morning Ray. Make sure to leave a rating and a review if you really like this episode, as that's how you can support the pod. That's how you can keep us on the top charts. That's how I can keep bringing awesome content to you. And I would really appreciate any feedback that you can give me, any positive or criticism. But let's keep it positive. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next week for an episode on manifestation and goal setting and how that's impacted my life and the things that I have manifested that have come into fruition. So I love you guys, and we'll chat soon.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.